All right. Hello. Welcome to the Non-Aggression Podcast. This is a show produced entirely by North American students who love liberty. My name is Asher Bookestein, and today I'm joined by these distinguished co-hosts. You can...
My name is Marcela. Hi, guys.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone. Hello, well, my name is Lautaro. I'm the Outreach Associate in Students for Liberty North America, and happy to join you today to speak about the events of the week in North America.
All right. I'm so glad. I'm so excited for the show we have today. It's going to be really good. Since this is the first episode, I'd like to quickly introduce the podcast and kind of explain what we're trying to achieve. Students for Liberty is a worldwide organization training young adults to fight for peace, limited government, free speech, and free markets. So in this podcast, we're going to talk about what's going on in the Liberty movement, discuss weekly headlines, deep dive viral videos, and just generally have a good time. Should we get started? How's your guys' weeks going? Anything you want to talk about has been going?
I think we got a lot to talk about, right? We got a lot of news and exciting things and fights to comment.
Yeah, I've had a pretty busy week myself. I mean, it's what you call it? It's I'm having a lot of graduation parties that I've been to. My sister just graduated just last week, so it's been really busy and fun. But yeah, we got a lot to talk to. We got a lot of headlines.
Great.
So
I also I was seeing, because now I'm graduating myself, and
oh yeah,
I was thinking, I don't know if this is a thing as well in North America. And you can tell me, but now they are making make an emote when you graduate. So basically, when you are up in the stage, you have to do something.
oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because there are people, maybe they like Formula One, they like other sport, and they like recreate the movements of them when they receive
That's fun. Congratulations, by the way. That's
Thank you.
big win. Yeah. So what did you do?
I'm graduating the 4th of July. So
Oh, you haven't quite July. Okay. Yeah. That's pretty late compared to the US. Yeah. Most people already graduated, but yeah, that's really cool. So, yeah, how do they do things in Bangladesh, Debo?
Bangladesh situation is little bit chaotic right now, if I can say. Chaotic as in, like, in last year August, we had the government upturning, so the student protested against the government, and the government just left. Then a new interim government has formed, and has been like running the countries like till now. There has been no new election as of now, but they are thinking of like doing a new election at the end of the year, I guess. So it's kind of a weird situation going on in South Asia everywhere. Like our neighbor countries also having the same kind of things and all the problems going on. So politically, it's been weird. Like, all of the things that I have heard or saw in SFL, like talked about with others in Bangladesh or in South Asia, I think I can see most of the things going wrong, or the completely different way in most of the cases. So uh, compared to the North America side, like as I have worked till now, so it's completely a different situation in South Asia. So I don't know the real scenario of North America or African side, as I have talked to others. But yeah, there's the political scenario.
That's
I
pretty
think
crazy.
Walter has something to say about his country. They recently got a major win.
Yeah, were you talking to Latara?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we can talk about what kind of happened this week in Argentina.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about that, Latara?
Yes, definitely. And it's a big thing. I don't know how and I think now I can share the image here. I don't know how this works in other countries, but for a long time in Argentina, the taxation system basically work in a way that everyone is a criminal until they prove otherwise. And this happens in a lot of countries, but in Argentina, the main problem is that most of the economy is informal. What do we mean by this? Is that people, even like high-paying jobs, they have like contracts where it's only by word, because
Oh.
with unions, with taxes, with regulations, you win less money if you are legal than if you are illegal. So a lot of people handle cash. A lot of people has all their winnings, all their savings in cash. And yeah, this happened for a long time. And like, for example, my mom does comedy, and every time she was asking for tickets, if she put it legal way, the thing is there will be a union of comedians, that thing exists in Argentina,
Mm.
that will take a part of that money from the tickets. So this happens in a lot of sectors in Argentina, and a lot of people have this cash that they cannot justify to the Argentinian IRS, that is called ARCA. And the thing is, now with this new bill that came into the Congress, now people will not be guilty of tax evasion. So basically, now what it happens is that it tries to regulate your situation and say, okay, just explain me where do you get this money from, and it wouldn't be any problem. Like, okay, from now on you can pay, and you don't have to pay a lot compared to the previous system, because they are eliminating taxes and all of regulations about that. But I think this is great because a lot of people, like for example, if you use a credit card, an Argentinian credit card, if you spend more than $1,000 in, I think it's a month or 2 months, you literally have to go to a office in the Argentinian IRS to explain what did you did on holidays.
That's
So
crazy. You have to
Wow.
wait. Let me get this straight. You have to get basically permission from the government to spend over like that 1,059 because they just assume it's illegal.
yeah, and you have to
That's
call your bank,
crazy.
like saying, "Hey, I'm traveling. I will be in this and this country." It's
Yeah.
something really weird, and Argentinians thinks that this is normal. I honestly, I figured out this when I start living abroad, because I remember first time I traveled, I was like with my Hungarian bank. I was like, "Oh, should I call them and tell them that I'm traveling?" And I
Mm,
realized that's not normal in the rest of the world.
yeah. So okay. So let me just get this straight. So what it seems to me is that this is basically forgiving any past tax evasion that regular people have had to do for
Yeah.
years and years. It's kind of forgiveness, and it's kind of giving people a fresh start.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And the main concern of the opposition to this bill is, oh, what about all the people that is in the narco industry, that they are criminals? They will be able to wash their money. And it's not like that. First of all, because a criminal doesn't have any needs to tell the IRS what they are doing. They can still do it, and they don't have to register anything. And then most of the things of the narco traffic, they don't have it in cash or in income. They don't pay salaries, so it's not like they need to go or they don't ask for a credit on a bank. So it's not like they can benefit from this. And
Yeah.
also, like with this, you can effectively control, if you want, people that have like weird incomes. Like, okay, this person got $10 million in 2 weeks. What happened? You can control that better, because now it was like everyone that has more like $1,000 per month is a criminal.
Yeah. No, and actually I think we have the same thing in America. I'm not an expert on this. It's just a little bit of a higher threshold. But I think we do have the same thing where small business owners will get in trouble just for like bringing in their cash for the week, if it's like a certain amount. So I think we have the similar thing. But yeah, like you said, this is going to make it a lot easier to catch actual criminals if they're bringing in like 10 million because the
Yeah,
system is probably going to be less clogged, I would imagine, right?
yeah, exactly. And also, like, even with this, so all this modernization and everything, it's really curious for me that the opposition is still like against it. They're like, no, this is a narco traffic law.
Status quo.
Yeah,
Yeah, got everything's got to be the same. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
And in my city where I'm from, in Mendoza, in the middle of the city, like or Times Square, there is a big communist building that is or IRS is in the middle of the city. And I remember it's like everyone's trip that they have to go there once to justify what they do for living. And it's like on the middle of the city. It's like totally
That's
dystopian
crazy.
thing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brazil's pretty much the same. You mentioned your mom is a comedian, and I remember something that happened in Brazil this week. They sentenced a comedian to 8 years of prison because he made jokes.
Crazy.
This is crazy. Like,
Is that
because of
not
your
what
jokes are
comedians
too
do?
happy, you're going to jail for 8 years.
This
That's
happened.
crazy.
I think the same thing happened in the neighbor country also. In Bangladesh, we can't talk about politics at all. Okay, but in like our neighbor country, India, recently there is a like famous comedian. I forgot his name. Kunal Kamra, I guess. Yeah. So he just basically said something in the like his live comedy show, and later on the whole country, or I won't say whole country, like a specific group of people, they just attacked the building he was like he did the live on. And the thing is like he was bashed, or he like all the social media was trolling him, like the people who supported the party or political party. But the thing is, at the end of his like live comedy show, he told everyone that whatever I'm saying in this show or in this comedy show, everything is by the book, like by the book, as in like the constitution. So you can't say anything to me. In the like live video, he said that, but still people got fed up, and like mobs came and like trashed the place and everything. So this is a pretty fucked up
That's
situation. Sorry,
crazy.
messed up situation.
That's crazy. Have you watched this comedian or heard about him before? Is he pretty big?
Oh, me? Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
his few things before. Like he does political comedies all the time. He
Hmm.
doesn't like most of the stereotypes and most of the things that people blindly follow, politicians and all that. So that's why a lot of the people from India, like are at least who are affiliated to politics or a certain political party, they
Hmm.
just they like does this kind of job. And it's a really bad, like really bad situation. Like India is now the country where the politicians are like stand-up comedy is getting bigger and bigger. That comedy is going much bigger. In Bangladesh also there is a community. It's pretty small compared to the Indian country, and I didn't see that much of in Pakistani. So Bangladesh is in the like is a side of India, and in another side there is Pakistan, and yeah. So these major countries have small kind of comedians, but India has the pretty largest uh, base there is. So I think that was a pretty messed up situation when I saw this news. Like this was a clear violation of like free speech.
Yeah.
He was telling again and again that okay, I am doing everything by the constitution. You can't say anything
Hmm.
to me because I'm criticizing by the book. But
Hmm.
still, people got offended.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like are would you say that most people in India and Bangladesh are like on his side or not?
It's divided actually.
Pretty divided. Okay.
Pretty divided. As like I feel most of the people who support him in Bangladesh, I don't think there is many supporter from for him because
Okay.
there's not a community for that. But people like me who see or like as per the stand-up comedians, like I love stand-up
Hmm.
comedians. I see a lot of them. So uh, from the Indian community, there is pretty divided. There is
Hmm.
major political people who are affiliated with politics. They will obviously go against him, but there are the center, there are also the people who stays in the middle. They don't like any political things or scientists basically. So they obviously say that this is a clear violation of free speech. And also in Twitter, that was a major uproar in Indian side, like few months back also.
Yeah.
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 If I have to ask, what do you guys see stand-up comedies?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a live comedy show, but I watch clips and stuff, and I've watched some Netflix specials sometimes. I would like to though. It sounds a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
it is really fun. Like I've
yeah.
been to a lot of them live. I really like Dave Chappelle. Do you know about him?
Yeah. He's pretty good. Yeah.
He's really good, and this is also connected to what Divo was saying. Like I think comedy and comedians are like the first step of freedom of expression. And I think
Yes,
that
I
Dave
agree.
Chappelle shows this, like the things he spoke about when he speaks about politics are things that maybe you can agree, you cannot agree, but the way he say it is, I think, something that in society, when you lose it, like when you cannot laugh about the government
Yeah.
or politicians, then you are a screw. Like the
And it's
first
crazy
Yeah.
thing.
how people also like the civilians also defend that. They're like, no,
Yeah.
if you made like some joke that is too heavy, you must go to jail. And we've seen this in
Really.
Brazil, like people defending it. It's crazy how authoritarian people can be. Like it's not like you
Yeah.
against freedom. It should be us that, like fighting for freedom against the government. But no.
Yeah. I would say that's a problem in North America that I'm seeing today, is that we've had pretty good freedom of speech in North America, but more and more just the general public is less and less okay with just tolerating anything they don't like. And people on the left and right are more and more open to the idea of, like arresting people for saying stuff they don't like, and it's a problem. But it's a
And
problem
that's
everywhere.
something really curious about American culture, because I remember growing up, I used to watch a lot of South Park, for example, or comedy specials from the US. So I grew up with the idea that the US was the place where you can make the jokes, that maybe they were too much for us in Latin America or in other countries, but in
Yeah,
the US, you sense that freedom of expression, and nowadays that's changing quickly.
it's still true. I'm still grateful that when I live in the US, I'm still grateful that we still have that freedom with where communities can make stuff like that, and governments they don't lock them up. However, you are right. It's when it comes to the public opinion, people are becoming more and more kind of, I guess I would say, against free speech. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just how it is. But anyway, this could be a segue when it comes to North American public opinion, because we have a lot of opinions that have been going around. Specifically, the Trump Elon Musk conflict, I could say. Feels like everybody has an opinion on this. I can just explain just a really brief in a nutshell for maybe the non-Americans who don't know, and then we can hear everyone's opinion on the subject. Basically, there was just a bill. It's called the One Beautiful Bill Act. It was just passed in the Republican House, and it is a massive spending bill. Budget increase. It's going to increase the debt cap, which is the amount that the government lets itself go into debt, by $4 trillion. It's going to increase the size of the military to about $1 trillion. It's going to especially increase funding to, you could say, border security. And then it's also a deeply unpopular thing with most people is it's cutting a lot of people's access to healthcare, and I'm getting to that. And it's also lowering taxes mostly for higher earners. And so I'm getting into opinions of that. Basically, what I'm getting to the point is, all of a sudden, Elon Musk, which is the world's richest man, has been highly against, very vocally against the Big Beautiful Bill, saying it's a massive, this is very bad that it passed. And Trump was not happy about that. And recently this week, as things got more and more severe, Elon Musk basically, there's a tweet right there. He says, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason why they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Which, you gotta love that last sentence there. Have a nice day. It's so petty and I love it. So what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, he deleted that tweet after I read this. I think he regretted.
Yeah.
He lost a little
It's
bit
gone.
of credit in the fight because he has like good arguments on his claim. This is going to like being historical increasing military defense spending. So he could argue with that, but no, he just have a nice day, Trump. You are on the Epstein files.
I don't think. I mean, I see why he deleted it. However, it's kind of been a big thing that people have been saying for a long time. Is why haven't they released the Epstein files? The Republican Donald Trump promised that they would release it like day one, and election rolled around, and Donald Trump was sworn in, and it's been months now. No, they haven't released it. So it is very suspicious. A lot of people are very suspicious on why they won't release those files, and it doesn't make Donald Trump look good. I'll just say that. So, yeah.
They were commenting a lot. I saw it in Argentinian streams when they were speaking about this. The fact that, okay, then why didn't the Democrats release the files, for example, if Donald Trump was there?
Exactly. Yeah. It's because I think everyone, or not everyone, but so many people in government are associated and have their names in there. I mean, I am more sure than pretty much anything that the Clintons would be in there, that the some of the other, like, I'd be very easily persuaded that Nancy Pelosi is in there and some of the other high-ranking Democrats and Republicans. The government elites were pretty. There's some pretty tight-knit, close knots, and like, why else wouldn't they be released? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and how does this work in the US? Because I was hearing about this case, and because there is nobody to investigate to, because Epstein appeared dead somehow. This case is closed. Is that correct?
So I am not the biggest expert in this. This is just, I gain stuff from news and media and stuff. I think we were mainly going off government promises that the investigation that was done would be declassified. But a lot of people have said in the Republican, a lot of high-ranking Republicans have said, I have them. They're on my desk. Well, why? Then what's stopping you? And they won't answer that. So, yeah.
What do you guys think about the big beautiful bill? Trump claims he will take for fiscal balance next year, and is also cutting a lot of taxes, but in the other side, increasing spending. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would just like to add, in the Liberty community, we usually love lowering taxes, and I'm almost always all for lowering taxes. But the way it was going to work here was when it comes to making the debt growing faster and faster and faster, when it comes to the bonds are going to have higher and higher rates. What that basically means is, instead of higher taxes, we get higher inflation, and inflation in a lot of ways is worse because it affects lower income people worse than higher income people, and it makes our groceries and other essential goods worse. So we still have to pay. Do you want taxes or inflation? And the increasing the debt is this kind of a sneaky way of basically getting the inflation tax while pretending that it's a tax cut. So it's pretty sneaky. And also, Donald Trump and like Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, other people were saying, "Oh, this cuts spending." It cuts a little bit of spending, but actually a lot of it won't go into effect until 2028, which is what the bill says. And guess what? In 2028, there'll be another election, and there will be a new president by then, and the next one will have to worry about it. So that's just pretty sneaky and dishonest. And if you're asking me, like, I'm 100% on Musk on this thing. I'm really hoping that he and other people put enough pressure on the Senate so that the Senate doesn't pass it next month, and we can get a better bill that's
Does
that's
he
better.
has the numbers to pass it?
What?
Like, does he has the votes in the Senate?
That is a good question. I think he does, because again, I'm not the biggest expert on this. But if I remember correctly, someone might correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Senate did vote on getting the bill to the House. I think that's how it works. Like, the Senate has to vote on, does this bill go to the House? Then the House votes on, do we want this? Do we want to pass this? Then it goes back to the Senate, and then they confirm it. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
And so it's pretty likely that since the Republicans have the majority in the Senate, that it would go through if they don't get a lot of pushback.
True. And also, one of the things that I was seeing is regarding. This is the main reason why people think there is a fight between Musk and Trump. The thing that it consider subsidies to electric cars,
Yes.
and that is being eliminated.
Yes, that's a big part. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I think libertarians have a complicated relationship with Elon Musk, because on the one hand, he's been doing all these Doge cuts, and he's been, he reposted a Students for Liberty tweet, and, he seems to have a lot of libertarian ideas. However, he made his wealth, he made his billions off of the government, off of taxpayer.
Yeah.
He would not be the richest person in the world if it were not for taxpayer money. And yeah, that's where Tesla and SpaceX get most of their funding, is from the government. So when Trump canceled that, it kind of seems like, well, maybe there's a conflict of interest why you're upset, So that's another angle for sure. What is that meme? Wait.
I love this
They're all watching the fight.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch in Twitter. And I think one random guy told Elon, hey, I think you guys should stop fighting. And then he was like, oh yeah, you are right. Like a random guy with that $8 subscription of X Plus Save the World.
Yeah, he might have completely changed the trajectory of the world just with his
guys
post.
don't fight.
No, I've been seeing some funny videos about JD Vance being like, "Mommy, Daddy, stop fighting."
Yeah, who gets custody
memes
of JD Vance?
Yeah. Do I get 2 Christmases now? Yeah. But yeah, really interesting times. I hear another thing is, I hear some people saying this could just all be like a show. This could just be like, I don't know how much that is conspiracy theory. What if it's all? But I mean, I would believe so much at this point. There's almost nothing's unbelievable.
No, yeah. I mean, we're seeing the tensions. So there were tensions already in Washington. So that would explode at some point. So I think it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were people saying that what Elon is doing is just the art of the deal. That he read the book and he's making the most crazy thing first and then negotiate.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think my favorite opinion, I don't remember exactly which, but it was some House Republican who was like, Elon Musk has mood swings. And this is just one of his many mood swings. That's what they said to Fox News or something, which I just thought that was very funny. I mean, yeah.
Now we have to see like the next public appearance of Elon Musk, what he will say, because I think I saw it Trump already. Like he say, oh, he just went crazy. So now we have to
Yeah.
see what Elon Musk will say.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait for the next chapters, and we
Yeah.
will be here making comments.
Uh-huh.
And I hear, I don't know if it is a fake news or not, that Russia offered him like asylum. Probably a fake news, but would be
Really?
really
Oh, it might
funny.
be fake?
Yeah, probably.
I
Like
did
if
not
it
hear
was,
that.
let me check if I can find it, but
Okay.
uh,
I do know that that is a thing that Russia does do. Is that Russia does, like, it seems credible to me. Could be fake, but Russia does, like, they've sent offers to like some of our actors and celebrities, be like, hey, uh, if you want to move to Russia, we'll give you a government position or something like that. Like, one of our actors, I forget, I think his name is like Steven Seagal. He like took a Russian position or something, and he's one of our actors that just moved to Russia. So it does seem like a thing they would do. Is it? What does that say?
yeah, like this is like, but this is the problem now with news that we don't know if they are true or not. But yeah, they
Yeah,
are saying that he got offered asylum.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's true or not, but that is a thing that Russia has been doing.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. There is a really funny thing that Russia did. Like it was like 15 years ago in Latin America. What
Mhm.
they did was that they created a lot of Russian influencers that went to Latin America, and they were saying like, "Oh, for us Russian girls, Latin Americans are so pretty. You should move to Russia." Blah blah blah, and it was all a setup to get like low skill workers of Latin America to Russia.
Oh,
It's
I
like
that's
think
so
That's the
wrong.
plan.
yeah,
That's
communication
so
operation.
wrong.
I
Yeah.
think Dubai did the same thing. Like they invited like lot of luxury like influencers to Dubai luxury places, so that people see those videos and come to Dubai and book those expensive like packages and all that.
That's crazy.
No,
In
one of
North
them.
America, Pyongyang also does similar kind of thing. Like they just put lights on Pyongyang, and all of the city is mostly lit up, but the whole country is in dark. I
Are you
saw
talking about
this.
North Korea?
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
I saw this image like in multiple places. Like the only Pyongyang is like mostly lit up place, and
Hmm.
whole city is vibrant and everything, so that they can see South Korea that they are in a pretty good place. But the thing is, the whole country
Yeah.
is.
It's so sad. I mean, that's like a thing. We're related. What was it? I think another North Korean thing is they made a fancy hotel to like show off. Like, have you heard of this, Devo? They made this like fancy hotel, and basically what they found out was it was entirely a facade. It was just an outside, and there were no rooms on the inside. Yeah, Devo knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's just to like show off and be like, ah, yes, all glory to the North Korea. There's nothing inside it.
Yeah,
Wow.
Oh,
we have a lot of this propaganda like tours where
I wouldn't.
yeah.
Sorry, I wouldn't be. I was just thinking I wouldn't be surprised if countries like Cuba would ban influencers to go there, because there's been a trend of influencers going to Cuba and showing the reality, the bad reality that they don't want anyone to see. So I would see that bill or something coming for banning influencers to go there and show the country.
oh yeah, you had a video about that. That was a good video. Was that like 2 weeks
Oh
ago?
yeah, yeah. It was
Yeah,
actually my first video was about Cuba.
yeah, yeah.
One of the biggest influencers in Argentina from the left wing, he moved to Venezuela and he even like created songs saying, "Oh, Venezuela is not like they tell you on social media." And then he's like dancing. And then he went disappear for 2 months, and then now he's back. It's like a weird thing. I
That is
think,
crazy to try to pretend like Venezuela is like a socialist paradise.
yeah.
That is nuts.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he has like 4 million followers. It's like it's not a small guy. I will
That
show
is
you a
nuts.
picture,
Yeah, if you
but
can pull that up.
yeah,
Dude.
he was like saying, "Oh, if you don't like Milei's government, all his neoliberal policies, you should come to Venezuela." This is his
Wow.
face. Like he
Oh,
lives in a
man.
fancy hotel, like in center Caracas, and and just I think now he has problem with the justice because in Argentina system the government of Venezuela is considered a terrorist organization, so he
Basically,
cannot
yeah,
come
yeah.
back. But yeah, this is the guy. He's like a main propaganda figure
That's
of
crazy.
Maduro.
They got to be paying him, right?
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
to be paying him
that's
for
it.
that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's crazy. Well, since we got to keep going, I can bring up the next topic. And this one, I really want to hear what some of you guys have to say because I want to know how if other governments have a similar, something like a similar version of this. But Palantir is a company that a lot of people hadn't heard about until a few months ago. I didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it until this year. It's a it's a tech company that has suddenly become super valuable because it has just gotten some massive contracts from the government to basically put together a database on every American. And basically, in a nutshell, a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, but doesn't the government already have data on us?" Yes, but there have been separate databases that each of the departments will have its own database. So maybe like the states will have like their driver's license database, and then there'll be like the social security one, and then there'll be like the Medicare one, and then there'll be like the other one. And so Palantir is trying to centralize, which is a pretty big task, and they got to do a lot of like advanced tech stuff basically to give the government one massive database. Yeah, that will basically like pool all of their knowledge on every American. They're saying it's mostly for defense to keep bad people from coming into the country because they'll know if they match our system. I don't trust that, and I know that governments have done some pretty insane stuff with the information they have on people, and I don't trust them to only use this on the bad guys. But I want to hear if any other countries have like done something with like a database on their people. Is that a thing elsewhere?
Yeah, in Brazil it happened. I was talking about it to Brazilians, warning them don't do it because they released something like now you can make an ID for your pet, for your dog or cat or something, and then you give all the information like on your where your pet lives, which is your house and everything, and then they create an ID. It's like oh for the safety of your dog or something. But then it's pretty weird why they want to know like everything about my pet, and then I think they will create some kind of tax or something, or even if they want to like make you to like your pet take a vaccine or something, they have all the data. So data is precious. I was trying to warn people like don't do it, don't like put your pet on this database. Keep like your data safe and then your pet data also safe, but is I think the consequences of it will come in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. Do you want to explain a little bit more to people maybe listening who say, what's the problem with having a service that keeps stuff about my pet? It helps keep my pet safe. What would you say to that?
Yeah, what I was trying to say is first they will tax your pet because they
More taxes.
all the
Okay.
data, and then in the future if you want to keep a pet on your building, you're gonna have a tax. That happens in some countries already, so that's what the Brazilian government is trying to do, trying to put taxes on everything. So this is just another move, first of all. And also if any crisis happens like oh there's a disease, we're gonna have to take your dog or something, they have the information, they have your address, and they know that you have a dog, they know how it looks. Just what happened with the squirrel in New York, that they took it for
You're
testing
not.
for rabies and then they killed the pet. Like, what if it
Yeah.
happened to you? You would regret so much giving the data to the government.
Yeah. No, that's basically like the exact point I would make. Yeah, it's like, and I think to people who say, oh, this is only for the bad guys, the government would never do anything wrong, this, only the good people are going to have control of this data. To them, just, I would also say, am I frozen? Oh, whatever. Oh.
We can still hear
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. To them, I would say, if you don't, if you're a Republican, do you trust the Democrats to always do a good thing with this? And if you're a Democrat, do you always trust the Republicans to this? Because governments do shady stuff, and there's all kinds of examples of them doing shady stuff, and I'm very concerned about, like, how, like, we still don't even know, it's not public what they're going to be able to gather. They could be tracking your location at all times. They could be tracking your, where you live, your car, where, what you like to do, like all this stuff. And there's so many ways this could go wrong.
Yeah. Then you start criticizing Palantir, and then your camera went off. So I wouldn't feel that
Hold on. Yeah, I do actually, Riz. I think I just, I think it was the battery
Yeah,
died.
no problem.
But
yeah,
Don't
I
say
was
anything.
about to say that in Hungary they already use this type of software, and
Okay.
they are using it mostly to track people in protest. They combine it with, let's say, the 4G of, let's say, everyone is protesting in a square in Hungary. When people go out, if their phone connects to a specific signal that for the government to know, okay, this person was in the square protesting, then the government can create profiles of those people because they consider themselves potentially danger for the government. And this is already happening in Hungary because they have a law of national problems, national defense, foreign agents, and blah blah. So they already are using this spyware on people. Totally implemented.
They
That's
always use
crazy.
that excuse of I'm trying to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially, again, I'm really unpopular with this. Like, almost feels like nobody agrees with me. But I'm not even a fan of the idea that we need to spend billions and billions to remove all illegal immigrants out of our country. I don't think it's worth it. And most immigrants are not here to do anything wrong. They're not criminals. They're just here to work, and they're here to boost our economy. And so even ignoring the fact that even if Palantir is just using this data, they're kind of focusing on, oh, we're just going to get rid of the illegal immigrants. Even that, we're arguing whether that's a good or bad thing. So, like, even for that single point, yeah, I'm not seeing the positive for this.
Yeah, it totally becomes a witch hunt at the end of the day because as someone that works in social media, and I even wrote about the Palantir and Pegasus in my thesis, what all of these softwares create is just an environment where people will not feel free to say what they think, and it will also somehow inspire people to be even more extremistic about the things because the cost of saying, okay, maybe I don't agree with the government and say, oh, just let's take down the government is the same because you will end up in jail anyway. So people will take the extremes there. And I think they are not realizing how powerful these softwares can be. Like, even when you run ads, for example, in Instagram, you have access to a lot of data and you are honestly curious on how the meta gets. Like, for example, people's relationship status or their work status. Somehow Meta has this information. So that in hands of government, not with the with the objective of just getting better ads, is like objective of controlling the population is really dangerous. Because as you said, like okay, now if you're a Republican, you say, oh, okay, we will use this to target migrants, but what will happen when a Democrat government comes and then you posted something that they don't like in social media and now you are in jail? And just because you allow this type of software to be in the government.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a really good point where you're talking about like what tech companies already have, because a lot of people, like, wouldn't trust. They don't trust, Facebook and Google with their data. So why would you trust the government, right? I mean, I have like a personal anecdote. I don't know if you guys have had something like this, but I was chatting with a friend who was going through a difficulty with their relationship, and things were just not seeming so good. We were just talking about that, and that was in like our Instagram logs. The next day, because I was in that Instagram log, I started getting tons of ads for dating apps. And I'm in a happy relationship. But it was all of a sudden, like, every other ad I was getting was for, like, Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and all these other ones. And that was just really creepy. It was super weird. Like, yeah, that's just my personal anecdote because that happened recently. So, like, we get creeped out when Facebook or what Meta and other ones can do. Like, but we're okay with the government having that power. That's not
For
not a good
Meta
thing.
and other social medias, they usually like in their policy section also, like they create a separate, like they won't put your name specifically, but they will put a like ad profile or ad number to your name. So like everything you do, that thing or that log will get into the like assigned to that will assign to a specific number. And every time you search something, like let's say you are searching or talking something about in another app, and that has a Google database linked up to it, or Meta or something, so that app or ad, like as Lothar and me both have done ad like targeted ads. So we see, like we can target specific range of people and range of areas and age and number. So how they get that? They get those from the specific ad IDs and all that. So yeah, if I
That's
want Meta to get the information, I will give it a specific ones. But if I don't want where I am to the government, that's the like personal freedom that I think is being breached.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to ask you because I bet it sounds like you know more about this than I do. I think I've heard they say that, the advertisers don't know your name, they just know this number, like this tracking number. Isn't
Yes.
it still possible that someone could theoretically connect that number back to your
Of
name and
course,
get it
of
back to you?
course. Every time you go online, your IP is being logged in the cookies, in the browser cookies, and like that's how hackers get your information, browser information or login information. So yeah, they can easily get that if
Yeah.
someone is little bit tech savvy.
Yeah.
I'm
Yikes.
not saying I'm a hacker, but even I can get some of the information if I try to.
Hacker Devo. Oh no. No, I'm
You
just
know,
kidding.
I put one example on my thesis on how this could be used for like how targeted ads could be used for political reasons. And the example I give was, imagine you are a foreign government and you want to target a country that has a high unemployment, and you start just creating fake news about how this country is accepting migrants and they get a free job as soon as they enter. So for a lot of people that see that and they are unemployed, they will get mad about the government because they're saying, "No, I don't get a job, and you are letting people in." So that's like a million games you can imagine on how to use these target
Yeah.
ads to target people. So
Yeah.
when it comes to the government, having this information is really dangerous. I remember even in Hungary, they were commenting that they were arresting people before they go to the protest because they already have their IDs and everything. So like this school, and probably we will see it in the next 10 years, where you cannot go to a public manifestation without any type of makeup, so they cannot recognize you without a VPN in your phone. I think
Dude.
that's all the things we will see in the next five
And
to 10 years.
and I just have to add in because, remember we did this video on this. Trump loves the president of Hungary. What's it?
Yeah.
What was it again?
Orban.
Or Orban. Yeah, Trump has nothing but good things to say, pretty much about the Hungarian. So like, if the like, I don't know, just are people saying like, oh, that would never happen here. Well, then why
That
is
is true.
Trump, talking up how good the Orban its administration is. Yeah, it's pretty scary.
And if I have to like when I heard this news, the first thing like I thought was like there was I won't say the country's name. There was a country, so because uh, that country what did is that political party, major political party, created lot of bot accounts, like thousand or not thousand, like 10,000 bot accounts, and a small group of people. They paid those people. Their only job is to promote government propaganda. And I don't know if it happens in US or other countries, but I'm not talking about US. It's another country. So that happened. What happened is, whenever someone says something about government or any specific topic that government doesn't like, that those bot accounts just like starts posting bad comments about that poster or that like status maker and everyone, and it eventually creates a mob, mm, like opposite of that post or that tweet or that specific post. So I found this, and this kind of misinformation is being happening everywhere. And if I say about Bangladesh also, uh, misinformation is getting out of hand. Like if I see flood in one specific area, let's say Bangladesh is just beside river, so floods happen in most of the places. For views and for like Instagram views or Facebook views, they would start posting previous or more like previous or past videos to get more views, and it eventually creates a panic around the area. And I saw a lot of corruption around these things. Like flood happens, people goes to help the people, but they collect the fund and keep for themselves, and this whole shenanigans. So
Dude, don't trust everything you see on the internet. I know people have been saying that for a long time, but you really can't.
exactly.
Like
You can't.
it's like we're in an age right now where propaganda is easier than it has ever been, and yeah,
Yes.
like
And the
tell
most
your
funny, sorry, the
no no
most funny
no go on.
kind of misinformation or like AI generated videos are getting most popular right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
But first
Yeah.
videos that got viral was Elon Musk's own video. Like someone created a fake Elon Musk video, and that got really viral. And Elon Musk was saying something what like uh, bashing government or something, or his own companies. But that was a whole AI video, and this is really ironic to see that AI is getting out of hand and misinformation is get out of hand, but Elon is the first one to get
Everyone
What's
victimized.
that? Wait, what the
fell for
heck?
that.
Did you saw this video, Asher?
I did not. That's a
Oh,
kangaroo doing what? What are they doing?
this is basically a video that went viral where it's like people discussing with the flight attendant that he needed his kangaroo for support during the
Oh,
flight. The thing is, everyone saw this video, everyone saw it like, and it was like really funny, but it
it's
turned
so
out to
cute.
be AI
Oh, it's
generated.
fake.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was so scary because like we failed as humanity. We cannot distinguish anymore.
It looks real.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I
But can we
mean,
enter, man?
I feel like it was the other day my mom or dad sent me something, some picture, something, and I was like, that's not real, right? And they didn't know. I
Yeah,
was like, yeah,
actually,
I can tell, like, this doesn't quite look right. Sometimes things have like the feel where it doesn't quite look right. Like you can do fun things with AI, but I think it gets scary when it's like government is trying to,
Yeah.
push false narratives with fake videos and stuff. So, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I saw it was today or yesterday that there was a video. I think it was in Nigeria or Ghana where they were saying that uh, Islamist terrorists were targeting Christian civilians, and it turned out that the video is AI generated. It's crazy.
We have a comment here on Instagram. So Archie said, "I feel sad for the kangaroo."
Yeah,
Yeah,
We all do,
never
it's cute.
existed.
and it's not
Never.
even real.
I wish it was real. Well, I don't know if I wish it was real. It's cute anyway, even if it's not real. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything? The next section would be a deep dive on social media videos. I just have a real quick thing that I want to do. I don't know if you guys want to go in depth on anything we've posted over the week, but I want to apologize for making a mistake. There is a mistake in a recent video. And the thing is, I like to have people help me with the research. I like to have experts help with the scripts and stuff. Because when I do things, I make mistakes, but I own up to them. Basically, anyway, it's the one about why can't we fund government by taxing the rich more? And near the end, I say most of government is funded by middle-class taxpayers. That's not true. Somebody pointed that out in the comments, and I looked it up. I went to the American Tax Foundation. They're a pretty good source on this stuff. Most of government revenue does actually come from the upper tax brackets, which actually helps my point more.
No.
Which actually helps my point more because they're already most of our tax revenue comes from. So I just want to get that out there because
and it's one of the reasons why you need rich people in a country, like to fund for everything. So it literally helps your point.
Yeah.
The video is good. I guess you could just put that on the captions or even as a comment or something.
Yeah. Or even a clip of this as a response to that comment.
Yeah.
It's good to read the comments and people like sometimes like correcting or pointing things that we didn't mention or anything.
Yeah, I think they were on our side. I think they were just saying like, yeah, that was wrong. So thank you, commenter. We might do like a shout out if that becomes a clip. But yeah, just want to point that out. Did anyone else want to go into more depth on an Instagram post?
I think this same point that you were speaking about, there is a Ayn Rand article about it. Basically, it points out that the rich are the ones that fund the government the most, and the problem that people see them as a way of okay, this is the guy that pays for everything, like the guy that is not invited to the party and somehow he has to pay for everything. It's of course objectivist point of view of the situation, but I remember that article exists and it was quite interesting on how we see rich people that maybe they are paying salaries, they have a company, they are making wealth, and we see them as okay, now they have to pay for everything. And while we never hear their opinion about things.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, don't get me wrong, like poor people still pay taxes. We still pay high taxes. It's just there's a lot of taxes basically at the end of the day. Almost all countries have high taxes. America, I was shocked to find this out, has like one of the lowest tax rates in the world, which I was just shocked to find out because I was like, I feel like a pretty big chunk of my paycheck is gone. And, you know, I'm not happy with my 6% sales tax and all that stuff. But compared to most other countries, we have it pretty good. So
we'll go crazy in Brazil. When I came here, I was like, oh my God, this is paradise.
Yeah. Do you know, like for comparison, do you know like what is there like a sales tax percentage?
You have 27% income tax. And then you
have
a lot of those hidden taxes. Like to buy a car, it's 50% of the original price you have to pay. 50? When the car comes in the country, it's 50% expensive. And then after you pay your income tax, you're gonna buy a car, and then it's 50% more expensive.
That's crazy.
And then after that, you have to pay year tax just to own the car. So you have 3 taxes. It's crazy.
And I'm just anyway. We could get off on a little bit of tangent, but maybe if
Bangladesh has like 200% tax on cars, I guess.
Dude,
crazy,
dude, and people still want bigger government sometimes somehow. Like, and we're the crazy ones.
We'll be surprised about this, Asher, but buying a car in the US is less expensive than buying it in Brazil or Argentina. is like we have crazy taxes when it comes to cars.
Like
It's like one favorite thing of taxing for politicians.
yeah, I mean, I have a used car. It's not the it's not the newest car on the lot, but it's a nice anyway. Yeah. So buy used if you avoid taxes there. That's Asher's Asher's suggestion of the week. Anyway.
I think we are almost end of the.
Okay. Okay. Well, um in that case, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up?
Nope.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining along, watching, listening. If you've been watching this live or as a podcast, yeah, just remember to follow the Non-Aggression Podcast, and come back next time Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time to get it live. All right.
And also press the notification button so that every time we came live,
Yes.
and you guys can get the notification.
Perfect.